Good morning. It's January 23rd, Thursday. We had initial jobless claims come out this morning. And let's go ahead and just go look at more of a macro picture here. This is the NASDAQ. And the trading platform here is TopstepX, but it is essentially a trading view. So if we remember, we had this big trend line here, right? This guy, that's still there actually. Broke it, and it looks like we want to come back in and kind of retrace coming back into that trend line. This is a fib that I have on Fibonacci from this move to this. And okay, so like, again, more of a macro view of different levels. Very simple. This is out of the box Fibonacci retracement. And I went from the all-time high here, 22,443 area, all the way down to this move. This is the last pivot low before we pushed up, right? So this is that 20,700 area, and boom, look what happened. We retraced all the way back up to the 0.786 fib level. So the question is, now what do we want to do? Do we want to come back down here and tag 21,782, or are we going to push back up towards this level? We'll see what happens. Economic data, again, initial jobless claims came out today. They were higher than expected, but not by much, not by much. PMI tomorrow. Next week, we get into the PCE and home sales and the rate decision. So something to look forward to next week, but not much data today as far as the economy goes. And tech is retracing today. Obviously, with Trump and the new president there's been a lot of commotion with him. What's he doing? What's he not doing? Et cetera, et cetera. How's that going to impact the world? And if I look at my trading view setup here, this helps me, when the market just opened, by the way, it's 8:35 Central. I look at this. Okay, these are the indexes, NQ, ES, YM. And the two moving averages, green is 21, blue is the 8. So price moved down below and is pushing back up again. But look at it. I mean, we're just kind of flat heading into the open. Look at this. Right? It looks like we want to make a push up here. And we have a squeeze, huge squeeze. If this can fire to the upside, we got a good opportunity here for a trade. Drop down into our 5-minute chart. Okay, but again, look at this. We're just in this really tight range, obviously, right here. Look at this thing. So can we break out and push it? Can we push it, or are we going to, fall? It's a weird area here. Very weird. Weird open. Haven't seen an open like this in a few weeks, where it's just flat, But right now, markets, let me get this back over here. NASDAQ is down 100 points. ES is down 4. And the Dow is up 78 points. So let's look at those other indexes. I like how the Dow's been moving recently. Clearly, it already looks different than the NASDAQ, right? The NASDAQ has been coming down. The Dow's going up. So Dow just made a high. This is the Dow, YM. We could go long and put a stop at 44,399. This could just trend up all day. I want to see how this 5-minute candle closes on the Dow, and then I would be interested in a potential Dow trade. Meanwhile, NASDAQ still in this range. Maybe, faked some people out there. Let's see where this candle closes on the NASDAQ. ES looks like it wants to continue to the upside. Let's look at ES here. Okay, this is yesterday coming down, overnight session. Yesterday into the overnight, and then now we're kind of grinding up. But on the ES, we are right here, right? So this is a pivotal area for the ES right there. If we can't break through, then we're going to come back in. So we are being patient here. It's 8:39 a.m. So with this close above the 5, I actually like a long in the NASDAQ here. So I'm going to go long. And my stop is going to have to be below 100 ticks. Yeah, we'll just keep it at 100 ticks. We'll see. If we come back in, we come back in, right? If not, then we can push to the upside. It's 8:39. See what happens on this next candle. All right, why did I take the trade? This candle closed above the 8. Yeah, we're in this range, but that candle closed above the 8, right? See what happens here. If we can get a push up, that'd be great. This is that data point that came out, right? This candle. So I think we probably want to get at least up to 920. ES is looking great. Move my stop up to 50 ticks. I don't have the 21 moving average on that setup there in the TopstepX, but clearly the 8 pushed above the 21 there. See that crossover to the upside, and we're moving up, moving up, moving up. So let's see how this goes. See how that plays out. Just want, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? But I am, I want to see this candle push up. Not the strongest move ever. I'm moving my stop up. $17. Woohoo! I want to see how far we can come in here, and then I'll go long again. So if I look at the entry there, entered at 904, exited at 905. So we just got down to 903, 907. $902, $901. Tag 900. We tag 900. With my daughter here. She's waking up. She's waking up. Okay, 95, 96. Now let's try it. 79 ticks. It's the fill, right? It's the fill. So We got in at 900, so it's 5 points lower than our first entry. I'm looking for a retracement and then a push back up. 78 tick risk here. It should really be a lower risk than that down here at the 863 area. But, you know, I'm trading this XFA, trying to be patient. There was a trailing stop on the NASDAQ up at 21,916, 21,920. That's the top here. Very good. This is what we want to see. I'll risk the 26 ticks there. Come on. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Trailing it. Trailing it. I'm going to drop down to 1 minute and see where I'm trailing it. Okay. 23 ticks no matter what. This could stay up though, but I'll just, you know, take the small winner and move on to another trade. I would like to see this blast off, obviously, but might not be able to see that here while we're in this trade. Come on. If the NASDAQ could blast off, that'd be awesome. If not, it's all good. There's always another trade. I think it's a good place. 20 ticks. I'm just going to stay right there. See what happens here. Could be a situation where on a 1 minute, we just kind of grind. All right. Let's go back to a 5 minute chart here. Okay, so that was a good trade. We could have taken it off up here, but now here's another retracement. So the question is, are we going to come back and flush here? Like really? I have a feeling that we are not. And by feeling, I mean, I'm looking at my setup here. And my setup here, according to this, right? Again, with baby. So that's what you hear. This setup here is reliable. Okay, it's reliable. Right here, we have a squeeze, huge squeeze, momentum pushing to the upside. Here, we had to move down, move up, move down. Does this stay above the 8 and the 21? It kind of has to, right? But with this crossover, I want to see a pull in and then another push up to the upside here. That's what I'm looking for. Meanwhile, YM is going. I said I wanted to see how this 5 minute candle closed on the YM, and I did not enter because I am fiddling around with NQ here. I like what I see here, but this really has to get going now. This 5 minute came into the 8 and we're pushing out. Okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. But this could easily flush. Could easily flush us out. We're down 97 points. NQ is down 97 points. Go ahead and take some risk off the table here. Okay, so my stop is going to be at the bottom of that wick. It's 51 ticks. I'm working on minimizing risk as much as I can, which means pulling stops up, looking at where a candle rejects. It rejected down there in that area. Okay, so I'm going to pull my stop up to that area. And if we flush, then I lose $250 instead of $500. I do want to share some thoughts about the last day of trading. YM just had a huge rejection. Let's look at that real quick. Whoops. Look at this huge rejection there. Interesting. Maybe YM rejects and NQ goes. So the last day I've been breaking rules. I've blown up accounts, and it has not been a great, last day or so of trading for me. So that's why I'm keeping things light and tight here. Light and tight for me right now. I'm getting what I can. I'm gonna lock myself out of my trading accounts. When that is warranted. So like right here, this is $236. This is 1 day closer to a payout. I'm sorry. Like I said, I have my daughter with me. She's waking up. Be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. I paused my recording for maybe 1 minute. So it's 8:50 a.m. Typically, we get a scurry of activity. You hear all the ICT traders, the 950 macro. So let's see what happens here. Again, I like this to the upside still because this candle, this was the 8:30 opening. Bam, we close above the 8. Come back in, close higher, close higher. This candle, we got higher than this previous green candle, but we closed, lower than where it opened. Interesting. It is a red candle, but still, I'm looking at this, right? You see that the 8 is now pushing to the upside. And then another interesting item as far as the technical analysis goes is this right here. This is a huge squeeze going all the way back, starting at 5 a.m. Central Time. Look at this squeeze. All right. This is going to blast off in one direction or another. It's gonna blast. And it looks like we want to get that blast to the upside. So let me look at a 1 minute here, see what's going on. Look at this. Look at this. Look like it's going to go lower? Maybe. Not really. I would love to see a pullback, shake some people out before we go higher. I'm trying to avoid, looking at the 1 minute too much because I don't want to be executing on the 1 minute. There's a lot of noise. So just looking at the 5 minute chart right here in front of us, what do we see? Again, there's that huge squeeze. We have these wicks coming off the 8. If this starts to push up, we could take a trade here and put a stop at 902. It's a 9-point risk. Let's see what would have happened. If we would have done that, our stop would have been at 897. Bam, we would have gotten taken out right there. This is a really strong push to the downside. Now the 21 moving average is at 21,894, which it looks like the low of this candle was 895 half. Wow. If this pushes up, could be an incredible trade right here to the upside. Nasdaq's down 96 points. We're going to go long, and I'm going to put my stop here at the low of this candle. Let's see if we can push out of here. It's 38 ticks. It's 38 ticks. Looks like it wants to go lower. We'll see, man. I mean, these wicks here. Something similar happened yesterday at the open. And I've got that on my mind, right? Where we had wick, when we were pushing up off the 8, and then we just freaking flew. But, you know, we'll see if something similar happens today. So this candle closed above the 8. That's a good sign. I'm going to keep my stop where it is. Got to get a little push here from this 5-minute candle right here, 8:55 a.m. Now what we want to see, everybody. That's a bummer because that was slightly in profit. I was thinking about taking it off. And I didn't. So one thing I noticed here about these few trades I've taken, $125 winner, $100 winner, $190 loss. That's not a good ratio. My loss is greater than both of my winners. Not what we want to be doing. All right, so we're going to call the stream. This I'm not streaming live, but I'm going to put this on the internet, and hopefully someone out there can learn from my mistakes, think about how I approach the market, and reflect on how you look at the market, how you trade. This is how I do things, and generally it works quite well for me. So thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.